All right, so here we go. Let's continue with the games. We're gonna have a quiz on Friday, and you guys do not get a note card. So you guys just have to know these formulas. They're not hard to memorize. They're pretty basic. If you've been practicing and doing them legit, then you'll be fine. Delta Math does have the half angle formulas written a little differently. If you want to do it Delta's route, that's fine, but I think this route is the better route. This is just my opinion. They're the same formula essentially. So it says, let's derive the half angle properties, same as saying half argument properties. All right, so I'm going to pay attention to this one right here. So I'm going to write cosine of 2a equals 2 cosine squared of angle A minus 1. And we're going to do a hack. Do you agree that angle A is half of 2A? Do you agree that angle A is half of 2A? Yeah, if you take 2A and multiply by half, you get A. So I'm going to rewrite. I'm going to put semicolon, rewrite, and I'm going to write it like this. I'm going to write cosine of A equals 2 cosine squared of half A minus 1. Is everyone okay with what I just did? Or do we have any questions on that? All right, why did we do that, Chav? Well, because I'm going to get an angle in terms of, I'm going to get a formula in terms of cosine half A. So here we go. I'm going to rewrite this over here, guys, on the left-hand side. I'm going to put this on the left and this on the right. So I'm going to write 2 cosine squared of half A minus 1 equals cosine A. Are we still okay? All right, I'm going to move this minus 1 to the right. When I do that, I have 2 cosine squared of half A equals cosine A plus 1. Actually, let's write it. It's fine. You can leave it like that. But let's write it with the 1 in the front and the cosine A in the back. All right, so here comes my next move. I'm going to rewrite it. 2 cosine squared half A equals, and I'm writing this one right here, 1 plus cosine A. There's a reason for that. I'll show you the reason in a little bit. Next move. I'm trying to solve for cosine half A, so what I got to do, get rid of the 2, so divide by 2, divide by 2. So now I'm going to write it as cosine squared half A equals 1 plus cosine A over 2. That's how delta has it. I'm going to factor out that half, guys, or that 2 in the bottom. And I'm going to write it like this. Delta does not have it that way. It's the same. So now I want to get rid, so I'm going to rewrite it with this. So let me write cosine squared half A equals, I'm going to write this one on the right-hand side. 1 half parenthesis 1 plus cosine A. We're so close, guys. I have cosine squared. How do I make it cosine? Square root it. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. So here we go. Cosine half A equals plus minus square root 1 half parenthesis 1 plus cosine A. And there it is. That's your first formula for the half angles. By the way, delta does not have plus minus because they are dealing primarily with acute angles. So if you have an acute angle and you half it, you're still acute. So that's why delta doesn't have that. But UH does, and you're about to be released to UH after today. Cool or not cool? All right, let's go to the next one. I'm going to put this one in blue. I am focusing on that one because I want the half angle for sine. So I'm going to rewrite. So here we go. I'm rewriting it and I'm putting it right here. I'm going to write 1 minus 2 sine squared of half A equals sine of A. I rewrote it, guys. Angle A is half of 2A. Oh, and that says cosine 2a. How come you guys didn't tell me? That's cosine of 8. I don't see any issue. I think we're still okay right now. Is anyone lost? Yeah, let me know if I make mistakes, guys. I make mistakes all the time. All right, I'm going to move that 1 to the right-hand side, and I'm going to put it in the front. Negative 2 sine squared of half a equals negative 1 plus cosine a. Are we still okay? And I want to get rid of that negative 2 in front of the sine squared, so what am I going to do? Divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2. So now I'm going to write sine squared of half a equals negative divided by negative is a positive minus 1/2 cosine a. Why didn't I do that last time? I don't know. I just felt like writing it like this time. What am I going to factor out on the right-hand side? Yeah, just the same thing that I did over here. What did I factor out over here on that one? 1/2. So I'm going to factor out a half. And 1 minus cosine a. So I think it makes it a little easier to memorize. So the cosine keeps the sign. So see, it's a plus with a cosine. And the sine, well, that's a cosine, but notice that on the inside I have a minus. Do you guys notice that? All right, take a square root. So here we go. Sine of 1/2 a equals plus minus square root 1/2 parenthesis 1 minus cosine a. And there it is. That's another half angle formula. Do we have enough space to write tan? Yeah, we do. We have enough space right there. All right, one last formula, guys. I'll do it in purple. So I'm going to write, what am I going to write? I'm going to write tan of 1/2 a. And tan is just sine over cosine, right? So I'm going to write sine of half a in the top, and then cosine of half a in the bottom. And OMG, don't I have a formula for sine and cosine? Sine half a and cosine half a? Yeah, that's what I'm going to use. Plus minus square root. What does it say over there? It says 1/2 parenthesis 1 minus cosine a over plus minus square root 1/2 parentheses. Here's my cosine a, so 1 plus cosine a. So catch up to there. Are we still okay? Laws of exponents. That has the square root. This, the numerator has the square root. The denominator has the square root. I can make one giant square root. 1/2, 1 minus cosine a over 1/2, 1 plus cosine a. Are we still okay? The 1/2 cancel out. Bam, bam. We still all right? All right, so here we go. Plus minus square root 1 minus cosine a over 1 plus cosine a. That's it, Chop. You can't do anything more to it. We can always do something to it, guys. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to multiply by the conjugate. Really, I can multiply by the conjugate of whichever one. I can do 1 plus cosine a or 1 minus cosine a. But whatever you do, you got to multiply by 1. So it could be still the same, right? So I'm going to write 1 plus cosine a over 1 plus cosine a. This is all inside still the square root. So when I do that, plus minus square root 1 minus cosine a times 1 plus cosine a, that's kind of like the difference of squares there. So that's going to be 1 minus cosine squared a over, and then I have a binomial here, 1 plus cosine a, and I have another 1 plus cosine a. So that's going to be 1 plus cosine a, close that square. We're there. We're almost there, guys. 1 minus cosine a, side note, cosine squared a plus sine squared a equals 1. So if I move that cosine squared to the right, sine squared a equals 1 minus cosine squared a. So that's what I'm going to replace the 1 minus cosine squared a with, plus minus square root And replace it with sine squared. And on the bottom, I just have 1 plus cosine A squared. We're almost there. Last one here. All right, equals. And really it should be plus minus there, but the notes, the formula doesn't have it in there. Plus minus. What's the square root of sine squared? Not everyone at the same time. If I square root sine squared, the square and square root are going to cancel out. So I have sine A in the top. And in the bottom, I have 1 plus cosine A, and the whole shebang is being squared. So if I square root the whole shebang that's being squared, that square and square root cancel out, and I have 1 plus cosine A. Do you guys see? All right, so there it is, guys. That's my formula. Let me see if I can write it right here. Tan of half A equals plus minus sine A over 1 plus cosine A. And there it is. And if you go to the next page, and I'll zoom out, I'll leave it there. It's still there, guys. If you go to the next page, here are all my formulas. And aren't you happy that we derived them all and we just didn't tell you, like, here, just use them? Or would you rather that people just tell you just to use the formulas? You guys aren't happy to know where they come from? You're not entertained? Chop, how do you use them? All right, here it is. Here's how you use them. You guys ready? I see cosine A equals 15 over 17, and A is on the interval between 270 and 360. That is quadrant 4. Find the exact value of cosine half A. Okay, well, first, cosine half A equals plus minus square root. All I'm doing is just grabbing it from right here, guys. 1/2, parenthesis, 1 plus cosine A. Delta math is going to have 1 plus cosine A all divided by 2. It's the same thing, guys. Are we still okay? I already know what cosine A is. They give it to me. What's cosine A? So here we go. Plus minus square root 1/2. Usually I make a new line, but that's fine here. 1 plus 15 over 17. We're still all right? All right. Turn that 1 plus minus square root 1/2. Turn that 1 into 17 over 17. See? So now, let's see what I get. Plus minus square root 1/2 parenthesis 15 plus 17. Not everyone at the same time. 32, guys. Here's how I do it. You don't have to do it the way I do it. I see a 2 in the bottom. I see a 32 on the top. And since I'm multiplying, I see this is kind of like inverse operation, 32 divided by 2. How many times does 2 go into 32? How many times? What did I say, guys? 16, yeah. Plus minus square root of 16 over 17. Laws of exponents comes in. Plus minus square root of 16 over square root of 17. The square root of 16 is 4. If it's free response and they don't give you any directions, it just says find the exact value, I would take that answer. Do you think Delta Math will take it? No, they probably want simplest radical form. So that means multiply the top and bottom by square root of 17 over square root of 17. You don't have to do that. If you already know what you're doing, you can just go right into it. So let's see. That is plus minus 4 square root of 17 over 17. All right, now we got to choose plus or minus. Is it positive or is it negative? Well, here's how you do it. Angle A is between 270 and 360 degrees. But I'm not looking for angle A, guys. This is cosine of half A. So I got to come back and I got to write 1/2 A. Does everyone see what I'm doing? What is half of 360? 180. So put 180 there. This one maybe, I think you guys know, but maybe you might need it. Maybe, well, let's see. What's half of 270? Perfect. So there we go. This is what I'm focused on, guys. This one right here. So think about it. Is cosine, well, first, what quadrant is this in? 135 to 180. Yeah, it's quadrant 2. All of that is in quadrant 2. 135 to 180 is in quadrant 2. In quadrant 2, is cosine positive or negative? Negative. Circle the -1. For good notes, put in there. Angle half A is in quadrant 2. So, negative. So there it is, guys. How'd you guys feel? Do you guys feel okay? Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad. Find the exact value of cosine 2a. This is what we did last week. So I come over here and I look at my notes. Well, I already have cosine, so I might as well use the one here in red. Cosine 2a equals 2 cosine squared a minus 1. So I come back and I write cosine 2a is nothing more than 2 cosine squared a minus 1, which is 2 times cosine a, close it squared, minus 1. They told me what cosine a is. Cosine is 15 over 17. So let's see. 2 times 15 over 17, close it squared, minus 1. Are we still okay? 2 times 15 times 15, 225. 17 times 17, 289, minus 1. If I double 225, what's that? 450? 450. 450 over 289 minus 1. I can turn that 1 into, 289 over 289. I make mistakes all the time. Make sure that I'm not making a mistake. Here's what I usually do. I can't subtract 450 minus 289 in my head, but I can do 450 minus 300 in my head. 450 minus 300, I think that's 150, but it's not 300, it's 289, so I got to add 11 to it. So 361. Oh, did I? Look, you see, I can't even do that. 450, let me see, 4, 3, 150, 161. There we go. Yeah, you guys got to tell me. I didn't do that on purpose. I just messed up. Over 289. Let me know if you see mistakes. I won't get the right answer for letter C. Does that look all correct to you? I think we're good. All right, don't write anything down for letter C. I just want you guys to see. It says, verify your answers numerically by calculating the values of 2a and half a and finding the cosines. So what it's telling me is to find the angle. So I know that cosine A, so just listen here, guys. Don't write anything down. Cosine A is 15 over 17. And in the first semester, if I wanted to find what angle A is, I would have to do what? You guys remember? How do I get A by itself? Yeah, inverse cosine. I'm going to put the plus minus, because I don't know which one it is. And I'm going to put plus 360n. It depends. Am I in quadrant 1 or quadrant 4? So I'm going to tell the calculator is dumb, right? The calculator is just going to give me an answer of quadrant 1. But we know we're not in quadrant 1. Our cosine, look, I'm in degree mode because you guys like degrees better. Plus, it's probably easier for you guys to see. So it's telling me that I'm at 28.07 degrees. But remember, guys, what they told me over here, they told me that angle A was in what quadrant? 4. So you got to put a negative in the front of this and add 360 because it's plus minus, so negative 28. So I'm going to do it again because I want the exact. So I'm going to put that in here and I'm going to put a negative in the front. Second insert. I could have done it with that one, right? But I want to make sure that it's the exact. And I'm going to put plus 360. Chop, what are you doing? It's 331 degrees in quadrant 4. I'm going to store this. Look at this. Make sure it says A and S, so it takes all the registers. And I'm going to store this to A. So check it out. If I type, well, first let's find out what 15 over 17 is. 15 over 17 is this number. You see that number? If I type cosine of A, I better get that number, digit per digit. Okay, so it works. Are we still okay? All right. Now, whenever I typed half of A, I got this number here, 4 squared root of 17 over 17, but negative. So let's see, or just 4 divided by square root of 17. Let's see what that is. 4 divided by square root of 17. I didn't put the negative inside, but that's fine. Here's my answer. It better be that. So that's cosine of 0.5 A. Cool? All right. Cosine 0.5 alpha A. Remember, it's negative though, but it better be this with a negative in the front. And there it is. See how it works, guys? And then the last one, if we didn't mess up, let's see, 161 over 289. That's cosine of 2A. 161 over 289. 161 over 289. If we didn't mess up, we better get that right there. Cosine of 2 alpha A. There it is. We got everything, guys. Perfect. Everything was as it was supposed to be. Cool or not cool? Do you guys see what we did? All right. I think we're good, guys. All right. Let's keep going. All right. These excerpts are from UH. They are tougher than the deltas because the deltas, you don't even have to worry about plus minus. All the angles in deltas are all positive because they're all acute angles. We're going to go slow. Don't worry. Here we go. Ready? Given cosine x is negative 1/7 and angle x is between 180 and 270, so maybe we'll need this. We'll see right now. Yeah, we're going to need it. Find cosine of half x. So this is just the same thing as saying cosine of half x. First thing we do, we just write our formula down. So here we go. Cosine of half x equals plus minus square root 1/2 parenthesis 1 plus cosine x. Close it. After you do this 2 or 3 times, you'll have it down. Are we still okay? Look, guys, you don't have to do anything. They already give it to you. Plus minus square root. Chop, it's supposed to be plus, and that's a negative. Yeah, that's because it's in quadrant, what's that? 182.7 quadrant 3. So just do what it tells you. 1 plus negative 1/7. You're done, guys. You're just doing arithmetic now. You're just doing arithmetic. Plus minus square root 1/2 parenthesis. Turn that 1 into what? 7 over 7. 7 over 7 minus 1/7. Close. Plus minus. Yes, I'm going slow, guys. I'm trying to show all the details. I know some of you can skip details. I'm trying to show them all. 1/2, open parentheses. What's 7 minus 1? 6 over 7. Keep the denominator. I see a 2 on the bottom. I see a 6 on the top. How many times does 2 go into 6? 3. You don't have to do it that way, guys. I just think it's simpler for me. So here's what I see. I see square root of 3/7. We all took algebra 2, law of exponents. Plus minus square root of 3 over square root of 7. And I'll slow down. You winning? Good. I'm going to multiply this by square root of 7 over square root of 7. I'm not insulting your intelligence. I know some of you guys don't need to do that. Plus minus square root of 3 times square root of 7. That is square root of 21. Square root of 7 times square root of 7. 7 go to heaven. Oh, you guys don't like that? All right. I'm going to heaven for sure. All right. The ones I'm going to kick out. The ones I'm going to delete are the ones that do not have square root of 21 over 7. Letter A, can I delete it? Yes. Letter B, can I delete it? Yes. What about letter C? No. Put a little dot. Maybe it's that one. What about letter D? No. Put a little dot. Maybe it's that one. Letter E. And then letter F, kick it out because it's either positive or negative. So it's either C or D. So there it is, 50-50 chance. Chub, how do I find the answer? Well, angle X, so I'm going to write angle X is between 180 and 270. But I don't want angle X. I want angle half of X. What's half of 180? 90. What's half of 270? 135. Half x between 90 and 135. What quadrant is that? 2. In quadrant 2, is cosine positive or negative? There it is. There it is. Put in your notes. Half x is in quadrant 2. Put in your notes in there. That's what that's about. Angle half x is in quadrant 2. Hence, it has to be negative. Is this making sense, guys? Okay. All right. And this time they didn't. So here's, hopefully some of you guys are learning about taking strategies. Given sine x is square root of 15 over 4, where x is an acute angle, find sine of half x. Guys, if you're an acute angle and you cut an angle in half, it's still going to be acute. So you're in quadrant 1. Everything in quadrant 1 is positive. They didn't have any negatives here, but if there were any negatives, those are the worst answers to circle. I hope that you never circle those and you delete those. Cool or not cool? All right, here we go. First thing first. Sine x over 2 equals plus minus square root 1/2 parenthesis 1, because that's a sine. I'm going to write minus 1 minus cosine x, close. You don't care about the plus minus. We already know it's going to have to be what? Positive. So just circle the positive or just write positive from now on. So here we go. I need cosine x. Need. So I take this guy and I draw a reference triangle in the first quadrant. Here's angle x. Opposite SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA. If you don't need it, that's fine. I'm just writing it just in case. This is sine, opposite over hypotenuse. So here we go. Square root of 15. That's opposite of my angle x. Hypotenuse 4. This segment here is 4 squared. I guess I'll write it. Square root of 4 squared minus square root of 15 squared. 4 squared is 16. When I square a square root, the square root goes away. That's 15. 16 minus 15 is 1. And the square root of 1 is 1. There it is. So from that, I already have what this is. So I'm going to write sine of x over 2 equals square root of 1/2 parenthesis 1 minus cosine of x. Cosine of x, oh, let me slow down. Cosine of x is what over what? 1 over 4. You can decide if you want to turn that 1 into 4 over 4, or I don't know, maybe you just see it chopped. If you have $1 and you take away a quarter, you have 75 cents. However you see it, doesn't matter. So now I have square root of 1/2 times 3/4. This time the 2 does not go into 3, so I'm just going to multiply everything. Square root of 3 over 8. Are we still okay? What's up, miss?
How did you get the 1 over 4 in the sine x over 2 equals 1 over 2?
Well, it says cosine. So cosine of x is 1/4. Adjacent over hypotenuse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. Law of exponents. Square root of 3 over square root of 8. The 8 breaks down 4 times 2. Square root of 4 times square root of 2. What's the square root of 4? So I have square root of 3 over 2 square root of 2. We're so close to the answer, guys. Oh. All we got to do is rationalize it. Multiply by square root of 2 over square root of 2, which is the same thing as 1, so nothing changes. So square root of 6 over, and then 2 times 2 is 4. Look for square root of 6 over 4. Why do they write it like that? And 1/4 square root of 6? I don't know, guys. Maybe that's just their program has it, their algorithm. They could have written it as square root of 6 over 4, but it's not a big deal. How are we feeling, guys? Can we tackle 2 more? Okay, this is it. These are the last 2. These are considered hard, quote unquote. These are the ones that everyone always gets wrong. Avoid doing these with AI. Do them on your own, guys. It says evaluate sine 7 pi over 8. I know that we're doing half notes or half angles, but we got to recognize that this is a half angle. Chop, how do you know that that's a half angle? Look, guys, If I were to factor out a half, I'll get a perfect coordinate, 7 pi over 4. That's what we're looking for a perfect coordinate in our unit circle. One of the something over 6, pi over 6, pi over 4, pi over 3. Does that make sense? Okay, let me slow down. I know, Chav, how did you know? Well, first, we're just doing half angles right now. But when you take this UH quiz, it is a half angle UH quiz. Whatever you see down here, like whatever number you see here, just cut it in half. What's half of 8? So there it is. It's 7 pi over 4 in the unit circle. Yes, that's what you want. You want a perfect coordinate. And Chav, what are you talking about? Well, look, this is just this, guys. Sine of half a equals plus minus square root 1 half parenthesis 1. This is a sine, so I'm gonna write 1 minus cosine a. That's all I'm doing. See, that's all I'm doing. Half of 7 pi over 4, so I'm gonna write plus minus square root 1 half parenthesis 1 minus cosine of what angle? 7 pi over 4. 7 pi over 4 on the unit circle is in quadrant 4, really close to 2 pi, right there. This is your 7 pi over 4. Unit circle doesn't go away, guys. Maybe they're being nice because at 7 pi over 4, the cosine and sine have the same magnitude. Cosine's the one that's positive, sine's the one that's negative. All right, here we go. Plus minus 1 half parenthesis 1 minus what's cosine of 7 pi over 4. Not everyone at the same time, guys. Square root of 2 over 2. Square root of 2 over 2. Let's go 2. Okay, that didn't rhyme at all. I'll stop. LOL. Tough crowd. All right, here we go. Chop, I don't know how to do this. I need a calculator. No, you don't. No, you don't need a calculator. Notice that we've done most of this without a calculator, guys. Make sure you guys are the AP crew. You're gonna have a non-calculator portion on your exam. Turn that 1 into 2 over 2. So then you have plus minus square root 1 half parenthesis 2 minus square root of 2 over 2. Do you guys see that? Okay, I'll slow down. What is 2 times 2? So here's what I have. 2 minus square root of 2 over 4. Law of exponents, plus minus, numerator, square root of 2 minus square root of 2 over denominator, square root of 4. What is the square root of 4? Plus minus, so in the numerator I have 2 minus square root of 2 over 4. Oh, over 2. The square root of 4 is 2. They factored out the half. Plus minus, here's my half. 2 minus square root of 2. Square rootception. Square roots on top of square roots. Catch up to here. Let's delete answer choices before we figure out what the right answer is. Could it be letter A? Be careful. Look what I have in the middle, inside the square root. Can be. Delete it. Could it be letter B? No. Delete it. There's no 6 in there anywhere. Could it be letter C? Maybe. Could it be letter D? No, because it's inside the square root. There's a plus. Could it be letter E? Maybe. So it's between C and E. We're so close. Chop, I don't know how to do this one because this one's a radian and I can't figure it out. Okay, slow down. So stop writing. Everyone stop writing. Put your pencils down. They want sine of 7 pi over 8. 7 pi over 8 is pi over 8 close to pi. It's only 1/8 pi away from pi. Do you guys see that? Because it's 7/8 of pi. So 7/8 of pi, you're so close to pi. What quadrant is that? 2. And then quadrant 2 is sine positive or negative? Positive. Okay, put that in your notes. Go ahead and write. But you're looking for 7 pi over 8, and 7 pi over 8 is 1/8 pi from pi. Hopefully I said that correctly. You're in quadrant 2. 7 pi over 8 is 1/8 pi away from pi. What do you think, Ms. Myers? Good stuff? All right. Letter example 5 by many is considered to be the hardest problem because sometimes you got to do trial and error. So yeah, put your pencils down. I just want you guys to listen, and then once we get the correct one, then you can write that down. So see how it says using the sum or difference formula? So it wants you to use either sine A plus B or sine A minus B. Chav, I don't know what to do to get that. All right, so this is what I want. So just listen right now, guys. Just take this in so we can see where we're at. I either got to do A plus B, and that has to equal 7 pi over 12, or A minus B, and it has to equal 7 pi over 12. Both, it doesn't matter to me which one you do. Both will get you the right answer. It just depends which one you think is easier. For me, I always think adding is easier, but you don't have to have my habits. Sometimes subtracting is the easier route. Chav, what do you mean? Okay, so right now, this is your first rodeo. Just start out by doing guess and check. And what you want is perfect coordinates, something that you know from the unit circle. So don't write this down, just listen, because these first ones are going to be wrong. Well, I want to add up to 7 pi over 12, right? So first I go, well, let's see, 6 pi over 12 plus pi over 12. Remember, the denominators have to be the same. That adds up to 7 pi, yes or no? All right, 6 pi over 12 reduces to pi over 2. Is that in the unit circle? Yeah, so that one's good. Pi over 12, that is a special angle, but is it one of my pi over 6, pi over 4, pi over 3 angles? No, so this one's not on the unit circle. That's a half angle, by the way, which I guess you could use your half angle formulas, but no. So scratch that one out. Don't write this down, just listen. All right, let's go to the next one. Well, if 6 plus 1 is 7, let's just go down to the next one. 5 pi over 12 plus, let's see, 2 pi over 12. So 5 plus 2 is 7. It's 5 pi over 12. That doesn't reduce to anything, does it? And that's not on the unit circle, so that one's out already. Do you see that? Let's go to the next one. 4 pi over 12 plus 3 pi over 12. OMG, look at that. 4 pi over 12 reduces to pi over 3. 4 goes into 12 three times. 3 pi over 12 reduces to pi over 4. Are both of these angles on the unit circle? We found it. Okay, so here, now you can pick up your pencils, guys. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go sine of pi over 3 plus pi over 4. And I'm going to wait for you guys. Go ahead and write down what we did. Find two numbers that add up to 7 pi over 12. Or I guess you could also do subtraction. Add addition. All I'm going to do is just expand it. The sine A plus B with the pi over 3 and the pi over 4. Sine pi over 3. Do you guys remember the formula for sine A plus B? Cosine pi over 4. Yeah, it's sine A, sine B, sine A cosine B plus cosine pi over 3 sine pi over 4. All I did was sine A plus B, guys. And here comes the unit circle. I'll write it in the bottom. What is sine of pi over 3? You guys need a reference unit circle? Pi over 3 is right here. No, sine's the y value. So it's going to be square root of 3 over 2. What is cosine of pi over 4? Well, I guess they're being nice there because the pi over 4, they're both square root of 2 over 2. So cosine of pi over 4 is square root of 2 over 2 plus, that plus is this plus. Cosine of pi over 3, now it's going to be what, Hernandez? 1/2. And sine pi over 4. All right. Now we just multiply them, guys. Square root of 3 times square root of 2. And then 2 times 2? 4. So I got square root of 6 over 4 plus, and then 1 times square root of 2 is square root of 2. And then 2 times 2 is 4 again. I have a common denominator of 4. So square root of 6 plus square root of 2 all over 4. They have it in there. They just have it reversed. But a plus b is the same thing as b plus a. So it is letter B. Do you see how we did it, guys? That's about as hard as it gets for UH. Right now, you just have practice. I would be careful. Don't get me wrong. I like delta, but delta has this formula. Actually, they don't even have a plus minus. They have it as 1 plus cosine A over 2. I would try not to use that one. And then for tan, they have you going the long way. Guys, just for tan of half A, just go right into this. I told first period that also, and they still were going the delta route. And then I'm like, guys, just do this. And then I had to tell them to do it. And they're like, oh, yeah, that's way more easier. As soon as you see tan half A, just go right into that one immediately. You guys know what I mean? All right, guys, do the delta first so you can get some practice. And then tomorrow after school, it's not mandatory. It's up to you. Bless you squared. 3's a crowd. Tomorrow after school, I'll have copies for the UH quiz if you want to go over the UH quiz. And 3's a crowd, guys. Come on in.